Harvesting olives around areas devastated on October 7th is one project of Genesis 123 Foundation. It's also building bridges between Jews and Christians with Israel.
We chose to work along the Gaza border in communities that were the most hardest hit by the Hamas massacre, to take the olives from those communities that wouldn't otherwise be used, to turn them into oil and then create revenue for that goes back into their own communities.
Founder Jonathan Feldstein says a key goal is making meaningful relationships.
Everyone is overwhelmed, grateful, excited about the fact that these Christian volunteers have come, especially now. We're in the midst of a war.
Feldstein, an Israeli and Orthodox Jew, has partnered with Marzi Amirizadeh, an Iranian Christian sentenced to death by the Islamic Republic regime for her faith, who now lives in the United States.
The whole idea to bring Christians to harvest olives was Marzi's.
After October 7th, I felt a big responsibility in my heart to encourage more Christians to stand up with Jews and restore friendship between Persian and Jews.
Marzi met Feldstein and his family 2 years ago during her first visit to Israel, and they realized they shared a similar vision.
The vision that God gave me is root and branch.
The verse from Romans 11 referencing the Jews as the root, supporting the branch. And then from Ezekiel 36, the prophecy of when the Jewish people come home, the land will blossom again. Now these trees that we're harvesting epitomizes the flourishing and the blossoming. Every olive that we pick, every liter of oil that we make, that's a fulfillment of prophecy.
Helping the land heal brought Sarah Stewart, her husband Luke, and their 6 children to Israel. They had to take multiple flights from their Alaskan home to get here.
We lived in this small Eskimo village of 100 people above the Arctic Circle. As we learned Hebrew, we learned what God is doing in the land of Israel.
October 7th happened. When I saw some of the pictures of the children who were taken captive, I realized that those could have been my kids. For a year, I've been trying to come, wanting to do something, wondering what I can do.
Sarah says her kids forage berries back home in Alaska, so shaking olives from trees is easy.
This is a really, really fun time for us. Israel's in the Father's heart. We just want to be a part of what He loves.
Pastor Danny Austin identifies with an historic failure of the church.
When the Holocaust took place, the world was blinded, or they didn't want to see, and they said it wasn't real, and so they just walked away. So here we are with 18 people. I want to go back and tell our church, they know the Bible and they know how important it is to be involved with what's taking place in Israel.
Cindy McCain tells CBN News that she came from Georgia to see the situation firsthand and spread the word back home.
To bear witness to people in the United States of what Israel has gone through, and that's one thing that breaks my heart.
Jonathan helped me to visit all the communities that were destroyed by terrorists, and it was very heartbreaking.
Since Marzi experienced torture in Iran, she can uniquely identify with the suffering here.
I was in prison. I was sentenced to death by hanging just because of, believing in Jesus, and the regime executed my best friend. They killed my husband. So to see what happened to Israeli people, I totally understand their pain and suffering.
Gad Sobel told the group how Hamas kidnapped his twin grandsons, Ziv and Gali, from their home in Kfar Aza and remain in captivity.
We are waiting every day to get them alive.
In response to God sharing about his grandchildren in Gaza, the group gathered around in an impromptu show of support.
Christians always want to pray, and that was organic. That just happened. When Cindy prayed, and when Marzi prayed, and you saw the tears streaming down her face, that was real. That was powerful. Those are the meaningful relationships.
Chris Mitchell, CBN News.